You've felt it, haven't you? A stirring in your chest that you couldn't explain. A heat that rises in the silence when you think of them. The angels say, this is not your imagination. This is destiny speaking, softly, yet undeniably. This person, the one your heart keeps returning to, is being moved. Not by logic. Not by fear. But by something far older. Far higher. They are beginning to speak your name, not just in secret, but aloud. Soon, the world will hear what they've kept hidden even from themselves. The angels show me that heaven has placed you like a seed in the soil of their soul. And now, under divine timing, something is blooming, something they cannot contain. They speak of you. With admiration. With reverence. With that sacred tone reserved for truths too precious to say carelessly. Yes, you. The one who didn't chase. The one who stayed soft, even when the world hardened you. The one who chose to shine when life gave you darkness. They've watched you. Closely. Quietly. As you offered love with no demand, presence without condition, and light without performance. And now, they can no longer deny it. You have become their mirror, their anchor, their longing. What once confused them, your depth, your stillness, your unwavering heart, is now the very thing they speak of to others. As if naming it might help them understand it. As if sharing it might make it real. The angels are preparing a revelation. A moment where lips will no longer tremble, where the heart will no longer hide. Where they will say it, openly, boldly. They will tell everyone that you are the one who saw them without judgment, the one who touched what others feared to touch, the one who stayed. And when they do, it won't just be about love. It will be about surrender. A declaration not of possession, but of recognition, of soul choosing soul. The heavens are orchestrating this turning point. And though it may feel delayed, know this. Divine timing never arrives late. It arrives ready. You are not waiting. You are aligning. You are not forgotten. You are being revealed. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you hope and a future. Jeremiah 29 verse 11. Sometimes the hardest thing to love is someone who doesn't yet know how to receive it. The angels whisper, this person is not cold. They are not cruel. They are afraid. Afraid of being truly seen. Afraid of collapsing in front of someone who won't run. You. They carry wounds stitched with silence. Memories locked behind ribs. Things they've never told anyone, not because they didn't want to, but because they never believed anyone could hold them. Until you. Your presence is disarming. The way your eyes don't ask for proof. The way your energy doesn't beg for performance. It's terrifying for someone who has learned to survive by being hidden. They've built walls. Not to keep you out, but to keep themselves in. To avoid the flood of feelings that once drowned them. And yet with you, they feel safe. And that scares them more than danger ever did. The angels say, they are thawing. Slowly. Like winter giving way to spring, unsure if the warmth will last. They test the ground, they step forward, then back. This is not rejection. This is unfamiliar ground for someone who's lived in emotional exile. They've known connection, yes. But never like this. Never with someone who sees beyond behavior and speaks to their essence. You speak soul. That language is rare. It's sacred. You, dear heart, are triggering their healing. Not by force, but by being. And it's uncomfortable. They may resist you at times. Retreat into silence. Act like nothing is there. But the truth? There is too much there. And they don't know how to hold it yet. The angels are wrapping this person in gentle light, guiding them through the thorns of their own heart. Be patient, not for them, but for the process. Because those who carry the deepest wounds often love the most profoundly, once they feel safe. You're not being asked to save them, only to witness them while they remember how to love without fear. They are not broken. They are remembering. There is a sacred truth the angels need you to remember. Your light is not a tool for someone else's healing. It is a flame that must be kept lit for you first. You've given so much. Quietly. Lovingly. And yes, beautifully. But now, it is time to return to yourself. The angels show me how your soul has leaned forward, tilted toward their pain, as if loving them more deeply might soften what they still cannot face. But hear this with tenderness. You are never meant to carry what is not yours. This love, whatever form it may take, is not a weight you must hold alone. It is not yours to manage, fix, or prove. The angels whisper, she must remember she is sacred even when unseen. In every moment you choose your peace, you choose alignment. In every breath where you pause to feel yourself, you tell the universe, I am worthy of being held too. Yes, they matter. But so do you. Their process cannot cost you your light. Their silence cannot dim your voice. Their awakening cannot drown your joy. Let this be your affirmation. I do not have to shrink to be loved. I do not have to burn to keep someone else warm. Your soul was not born to be a background melody in someone else's transformation. You are the main thread in your own sacred weave. Nurture your rituals. Rest in your softness. Allow pleasure to return without guilt. Let joy find you, not in their validation, but in your own breath. The angels are not asking you to abandon this connection. They are asking you to choose yourself within it. To protect your spirit as fiercely as you protect hope. Because the version of you that shines with self-love, that version, is the one they truly fell in love with. And she deserves to be celebrated. Every single day. Your presence has become a mirror. Not the kind that flatters, the kind that reveals. The angels say, you didn't just come into their life. You came as truth. And truth can be daunting. You see them, not just who they pretend to be, but who they really are when no one's watching. You see the cracks beneath the armor, the dreams they've buried, the tenderness they've long concealed, and they feel it. In every glance, you hold a mirror to their soul. In every silence, a reflection they can't avoid. You make them feel more alive, and more exposed, than anyone ever has. They weren't ready to face themselves. But your light, your grace, your quiet understanding, it draws them into a kind of reckoning. Not because you push them, but simply because you are. And in that presence, their shadows rise. The wounds they've disguised as strength. The shame they've dressed in detachment. The fears they've mistaken for boundaries. All of it, now visible. Because you didn't try to fix them. You just stood there, soft, steady, sacred. And in your stillness, they saw the chaos within themselves. This is why they waver. Why they pull close, then disappear. Why their eyes say stay, even when their feet carry them away. It's not rejection. It's reflection. They're seeing who they've become, and who they could be. And it terrifies them. But here's what the angels want you to know. You are not their healer. You are their invitation. An invitation to return to themselves. You were never here to complete them. Only to remind them they were never broken. And as they stare into the mirror you've become, one day, they will no longer flinch. They will reach. And they will stay. Because the truth you reflect is the love they've long forgotten how to believe in. The shift has begun. Quiet. Subtle. But undeniable. The angels say, he feels you now in places where silence used to dwell. There's a stirring within him, not loud, not dramatic. More like a tremor in the soul. A pause in thought where your name rises like a prayer. A heartbeat skipped when something somewhere reminds him of you. This is the awakening. Not the grand epiphany that movies portray, but the holy unraveling the spirit understands. A remembering that unfolds slowly, through glances, echoes, and unspoken understanding. He doesn't speak of it yet. Perhaps not even to himself. But his spirit senses it, the weight of the connection, the presence of something real, too real to ignore. The angels show me his dreams. How you walk through them, wordless yet powerful. How your image appears when he seeks peace. How your voice surfaces in moments of doubt. He doesn't fully grasp it. Not yet. But he feels it. He feels you. Your energy, so unmistakable, has become a presence in his life, even when you are not nearby. You've become a compass without trying. A light without asking. A question he cannot ignore. And with this awakening comes discomfort. Restlessness. A soul no longer able to sleepwalk through dull routines. You've disrupted the slumber he called safety. Do not mistake his silence for absence. He is in it. Deep in the inner tide of realization. Something has changed. Not because you demanded it, but because your essence is unforgettable. The angels remind you, this kind of connection doesn't plead. It reverberates. It teaches. It waits without waiting. He is becoming. And in that becoming, your spirit walks beside him. This is the birth of remembrance. And once the soul remembers, it cannot unsee what it has seen. He returns, then vanishes. Reaches, then recoils. His presence, a tide that never settles. And you're left with echoes instead of answers. But the angels say, this is not confusion. It's fear disguised as rhythm. You are not caught in a game. You are standing at the edge of a soul learning to trust its own heartbeat again. He doesn't pull away because he loves less. He pulls away because he feels more than he's ever allowed himself to. Every time he steps closer to you, a door within creaks open. Behind it? Memories, wounds, truths he thought he'd buried forever. You don't just make him feel loved. You make him feel everything. And that kind of emotional flood drowns those who've lived too long in drought. So he runs. Not from you, from what you awaken. But each return tells the deeper truth. The bond is stronger than his fear. The connection, undeniable. The longing, relentless. He tries to pretend that it's just a phase. That he can forget you. That silence will reset what was felt. But his soul knows better. He's learning in spirals, not lines. Progress here is not forward, but inward. Every return holds more truth. Every departure reveals more fear being burned away. And you, dear soul, you are not here to chase, to prove, to beg. You are here to witness. To honor the sacred pattern without collapsing inside of it. The angels are guiding him, peeling back the layers of resistance with mercy. And they're wrapping you in grace, because your heart deserves rest, too. Let the cycle be what it is. Not punishment. Not rejection. But purification. You are not losing. You are witnessing rebirth, in slow, messy, holy motion. Your love, not loud, not forced, not performative, has become the balm he didn't know he needed. The angels say, she healed him without touching his wounds. Just by seeing them. You didn't try to fix him. You didn't invade his process. You simply stood in your truth, steady and present. And that was the medicine. Because in a world that taught him love comes with demands, you offered presence. In a heart that had only known transaction, you brought devotion. And his soul, weary, guarded, skeptical, began to soften. Love like yours disarms. Not because it's loud, but because it's honest. It expects nothing yet transforms everything. You see, healing doesn't always happen in conversations. It happens in energy. In the way your spirit stayed open, even when his didn't. In the way your light didn't dim when his shadows rose. Even in distance, your love worked. Quietly. Powerfully. Like rain on parched soil, invisible at first, but life-giving over time. He felt it. In the way he thought of you when he didn't want to. In the way your name made his chest ache. In the way silence carried your voice. You became a sanctuary. Not a rescue. A remembrance. Of what safety could feel like. of what intimacy could become. The angels want you to know, your love is doing more than you think. Even if he hasn't said it. Even if his actions haven't yet aligned. Even if he still trembles in the face of what's real. He is healing. Not because you saved him, but because you loved him in a way that showed him he could save himself. And that is the holiest medicine of all. Nothing you've felt, nothing you've lived, has been random. The angels say, every delay, every silence, every moment you doubted, was part of the sacred choreography. You see only one step at a time. But heaven? Heaven sees the whole map. And right now, they are shifting the pieces. Opening the path. Preparing not just him, but you for the magnitude of what's coming. There is no mistake in this connection. You didn't imagine the depth. You didn't fabricate the bond. And the angels want you to trust that every detour had purpose. He needed time. So did you. Time to shed illusions. Time to reclaim your voice. Time to remember that your worth was never tethered to being chosen, but to choosing yourself. Because now, as your soul steadies, he feels it too. That pull. That recognition. That gravitational ache that doesn't fade. But divine timing isn't passive. It's precise. Every obstacle is a lesson. Every pause is preparation. Every no, a redirection to the right yes. The angels are aligning what once felt impossible. And though it may feel quiet, the heavens are anything but silent. Listen. In your restlessness, there is a whisper, trust. In your tears, there is a promise, we are not done writing your story. And in the stillness, there is a holy unfolding. He will return. Not as the one who left, but as the one who finally remembers why he found you. Because you were never lost. You were always on sacred ground. The steps of a good man are ordered by the Lord, and he delighteth in his way. Psalm 37 verse 23. He wants to love you, but he doesn't yet know how to stand naked in that truth. The angels say, he has felt more with you in silence than he ever did with others in words. But vulnerability, it frightens him. Not because he doesn't feel, but because he feels too much. Inside him lives a child who once opened his heart and was met with silence. Who once trusted and was left waiting. And now, even in your tenderness, he hears old echoes. Of loss. Of abandonment. Of shame. You are safe. But his nervous system hasn't caught up to that reality. And so, he pulls back. Not because you overwhelm him, but because his love for you does. This is the paradox. The deeper he feels, the more he hides. Because loving you requires the one thing he's never learned, surrender. You hold space like no one else. You don't demand. You don't chase. You just see him. And that is the most terrifying intimacy of all. The angels show his heart like a locked room. The key? Your presence. Not your fixing. Not your proving. Just your being. He is learning. Not in leaps, but in shivers. Each small crack in his defenses is a sacred crack of light. Each truth he whispers is a rebellion against everything he was taught about love. Your role is not to break the door open. It's about staying open at the threshold. To let him decide when he's ready to walk through. Because when he does, it will not be a half-hearted love. It will be a love that has confronted its fears and chosen nonetheless. Perfect love casts out fear, because fear has torment. He that fears is not made perfect in love. 1 John 4 verse 18. There comes a moment in every soul's journey where we stop asking, stop fixing, stop waiting, and start trusting. The angels say, she no longer pleads for answers. She walks in knowledge. You've loved without conditions. You've hoped without expectations. You've endured through cycles, silences, and storms, not out of weakness, but out of respect for what your soul felt. And now comes the sacred turning point, not in their actions, but in your release. Because to truly receive what is meant for you, you must first stop clinging to what isn't ready. The angels are clear: you have done enough. You've loved from your core. You've grounded yourself in compassion. You've embraced the process. Now let grace guide you. This chapter isn't about waiting. It's about allowing. It's about resting in the truth that if this connection is truly divine, it cannot be lost, only delayed. You're not letting go of the love. You're letting go of the timing, the outcome, the illusion of control. And in doing so, you reclaim yourself, not as someone in the waiting room of love, but as the sanctuary love longs to enter. They may choose to come forward. They may not. But you will no longer shrink to make space. You are space. You are light. You are enough. The angels bow beside you. For your courage. For your softness. For the way you never stopped believing in love, even when it shattered your heart. And now you are whole, not because they stayed, but because you stayed true to yourself. You don't need to be chosen to be divine. You already are. And whatever is meant for you is already on its way. The Lord will fight for you, you need only to be still. Exodus 14 verse 14.